It is. Hey, happy hump day. Welcome to Dean Korp podcast. I'm Korp.
I'm Dean.
Today, trying to stay warm.
Yeah, there's a good snow going on outside.
Nice little white flurry. Hopefully, it's not one of those go away before Christmas type moments, but I'll take away Christmas and then an Indian summer. Is that okay to say?
I thought it was an Indian winter.
Maybe that's what I meant.
But yeah, Indian winter's no snow, and then white Christmas would be nice. Yeah. I haven't had the opportunity to even have a white Christmas in 5 years, so it's kind of cool.
I guess. I think it's overrated.
We're 9 days out?
I would rather have a beach and some hot sun and
look, I mean, you want it for like a day. It's like everybody wants the first snow and the last snow and the Christmas snow. Those are the 3 snows you want for the whole year. Yeah. And every other one's inconvenient. And
maybe in like 2 years when my son's a little older, so I can pelt him with snowballs and he can build like his own, actually.
Well, you could go like sledding, do stuff like that.
Man, we went sledding last year.
Yeah.
And it was like a day after it had snowed, but it had rained in the morning or something. It was bad.
Ice.
And it was, I was scared.
Yeah.
We're going down the hill, probably like a 40-foot hill. Like, does that make something like that?
Yeah.
Okay. So
it's not a huge hill.
He's in between my legs. We end up going down backwards. So we slide. We slide.
You can't see where you're going.
Can't see.
Oh,
he's
shit.
Like, done. We did it once.
Yeah. He doesn't want it. Well, hopefully he gets the memory in like a year or so.
Yeah, he's already. But lesson learned. Like, it was icy out.
Yeah.
And I took a 3-year-old down a slide.
Mariano and I went to Mount Brighton one year.
Okay.
And we went in like the dead of February, but with no fresh powder. And we went to go snowboarding. This is my second time snowboarding. Okay. The first time we went right after a fresh snow. It was a lot of fucking fun. I felt like I really got the hang for it. Second time I went, no snow for like 3 weeks, and it's completely compacted ice. There's such a difference. There's such a difference snowboarding.
Hard to carve.
I couldn't. So every time I tried to carve, I biffed it. And then I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to take the big hill and then like kind of do like small S's the whole way down. But like, there's nothing to carve, so you can't stop your speed. Like for me, like that's how I interpreted it. So I went and like I caught like a dip in the ground because it's just ice. There's no snow to like compact that. And I caught a dip in the ground. My snowboard flipped over. I flipped over myself. Like my feet went this way behind me. And I looked like a scorpion with my legs coming up over my head. And I like looked it up. That's a 70% chance to paralyze yourself. Like doing that. Yeah. I laid there on the snow. I thought I fucking paralyzed myself. Like how bad my neck was hurting. Cause I came down like that on my neck.
That's crazy.
Second, it scared the shit out of me. And I haven't snowboarded since. And I've always said I won't go back unless I have health insurance. And now I have health insurance. And I'm like, I don't even really still want to go. Like, what's I love leisure sports, but like it's a leisure sport. I shouldn't have to worry about like grievously injuring myself.
It's one of those things that with the technology we have now, like putting some earbuds in, going down some hills, that'd be fun. But like, I feel like that's not like a group activity. It is a one-person thing. And then the activity is like, let's go get coffee afterwards or hot cocoa.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm going up the thing. We're bullshitting as we go up the lift.
Yeah.
We get off the lift. We go down the hill. Like it's all me. It's all
it's like a single person sport until you're good enough to where you could do it with multiple people, look around and then like see that you're all coming down the hill at the same time. Everybody's carving. You're like all doing cool stuff. But like how much solo experience you need to get to that point? Like, dude, no, you're talking like the hobby level investment.
Like with the amount of technology there is now, if there was YouTube when I was in the 7th grade going, I probably still would be a snowboarder. But because the sequence of events that stopped me from snowboarding was girls, sports, and social life, I never got back into it, tore my ACL. I probably will never.
No, I don't have interest in the kind of leisure sports that their serious side effects are paralyzation, broken legs, and concussions. Like I will do leisure activities. Like you know what I mean? Like I'm down to go hiking. I'm down to go like backpacking. I will go out into the woods. I'll stay out there for 6 days. I'm down to down to go rock climbing. I know rock climbing's probably flirts that area, but like for some reason that just feels like you have harnesses. You're a little more like, looped in, but like heavy mountain biking, like intense trail mountain biking. The chance of getting paralyzed and like fucking your shit up and breaking your legs is insane. You're going 25 miles an hour down a hill. You slip once, you hit a tree.
I don't want to go downhill on a bike that's in a neighborhood.
Right.
I'm not afraid of it. Like but I'm also like somebody that can overthink stuff, so I have to like just do it.
Yeah, but like the just do it, like I just feel like the risk for injury, like anything where you can hit a tree going 20 miles an hour on something that can lose control of itself.
And I also would say anything that I would say about me not wanting to do something like play football or like that I'm afraid to get, like it changes as soon as Theo makes it of age to do said thing.
Yeah.
And now I'm doing it in a different way, like more like how my dad did it, where he was an all-time quarterback, or like more of a ref fan and quarterback, or
well, at least you know the, like, I'm not gonna go play football. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I probably wouldn't play unless we're doing our $20 bet thing we talked about, which I still really want to do that.
It's gonna be fun. We're gonna have to put some parameters around
I think what we do to talk it through, I know we're sidestepping the conversation. So on D&D night on Monday, Justin had brought up the idea. So me and Raiden are really good at video games.
Raiden started talking
he talked shit.
And he said he could beat me in athletics as well as video games, which is not going to happen. And so we're going to have like 6 competitions.
I think we do 5. I think we do 5 competitions.
Who picks the 5th?
2 gaming, 2 athletic. The 5th one is either flipped of a coin or drawn from a hat, and that's just the chance of it.
Or maybe we write down 6. Or
it's a series of both.
We write down 6.
It's both.
Put it in a hat.
Yeah.
And then that's the order in which we do the competition.
Yeah, but then there's an opportunity there. Well, yeah.
You would just do 3 in a row. Yeah, because then
6 would be
because then if you have 3 video games in a row.
But no, it all ends up the same. Well, you have to do 3 video game tickets, 3 athletic tickets. You put them in, you only draw 5. Okay, yeah, that could work. Yeah. That would actually work.
Yeah,
that would give us the same thing. Because like the 5th one, you can't do 6 because then there's no tiebreaker.
Well, because if there's 3 video games, the chances that you guys win
are way higher.
Way higher. But if there's 3 sports games, then
I agree with Mike though. He said the one point is that there is a gap between your guys, you and Chris's athletics, and us. So like I'd say that gap is like, look at it from like the center. Here's us. The gap for video games, like let's say, or for athletics, you guys have 40 yards on us, like in that gap. But for video games, like our gap is bigger.
It just depends on the games that are chosen. Like,
one of them's going to be league.
Yeah,
so 1 2-on-2 league match. That's like I feel like that goes one way.
I do too, but if I played the game, I have a chance. You make it something I have never played before, and I don't have.
For sports, we got to do one of them should be 2-on-2 volleyball. Makes sense because that's a good 2-on-2 sport.
Yeah, 2-on-2 basketball will crush you, and I don't even know if you want to go down that.
I don't even. That one might be like
12-0.
Yeah, I can't play basketball, bro. I can play volleyball.
I won't let Mike do a thing. I will be on him.
Well, so you guys should pick the video games, and we should pick the sports. Since it's weaker on both sides, right?
Okay,
that would make the most sense. That'd be a good twist.
Give you the best advantage because then you could try and do something.
It would give you guys the best advantage in the video game market too, right? So like,
I'm on board with that. I'm sure Mike and Chris are too.
Yeah, they would be, and it's $20. Like, like $20 each. So it's
40.
Yeah. So you could each team. All right, that makes sense. So you could win. You just double your money because you would split the winnings, obvious.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. $20. We all put $20 in on it, and we do something stupid for a whole day. That would be fun. One thing I want to do too. I know it's totally ripping off Joe Rogan. Our whole the whole idea of
I feel like podcasts are ripping off podcasts.
Right. So at any rate, one thing I like Joe Rogan does is the Sober October plus a challenge.
Okay.
And I think we should maybe not but we could get all of our friends to do it. Put a challenge, a physical challenge. Everybody's got to run. Because of where we live, we can't do Sober October because it's too fucking cold. But like if we did Sober May or Sober, Sober April or Sober August,
I think we should start Sober February because
I want to do a physical outdoor competition. Like everybody log miles and run as much as you can. Person who runs the most at the end of the month is wins we'll make like a big trophy. We'll do like a league, and that'll be our sober league. But like the more friends and people we get involved, it's just another thing to do, bro.
Yeah.
Like we were saying on the phone earlier, and I loved what you had said because it kind of like sparked that like wheels are turning moment of like we're not kids anymore. Like when you're a kid and you go to school, everything is scripted for you down to the field trips. Oh, I get to go see this cool thing. Somebody organized that. You were just tagging.
Yeah, you're not seeing the work put in by the adult to make the phone calls, to send the emails.
Oh, can we get a discount for this many people to come? We need to rent a bus. We need to do this. And it's like, the school took care of all that. There was somebody who got paid to do that. But like when you get older, you run out of events to do. All you really start doing is going to the bar because it's easy. It's already set up. You just pay them and then good times 80% to 70% of the time happen.
Even then, you still need those people
to
show up. You need, you're counting on other people to make that decision to go there.
But I like encouraging each other to do good, healthy decisions, to get outside, to have events like when we were kids, when it was so easy to like wake up. Like, no wonder people think life's short. You hit 20, or in America at least, you hit 20 or 30. You've done all the fun shit you think you can do because you've been to every bar in the entirety of the Detroit area. And you're like, I'm done going out. Like, what's the next chapter? But then you don't think about the next chapter because you stop doing scheduled activities. Oh, this takes too much work. Oh, this takes too much time. I don't want to do this. Like, staying active is 100% about like scheduling activities with you and your friends. That's what it has to be.
Yeah. And sometimes it just takes, you just do it. Instead of talking about doing it, force a date. Force them to either commit or not commit.
And we're going and we're not, or you're not. You know, like, you can come with us. You know, all the friends. I told you 5 months ahead of time, we're all doing this thing. Yeah. Come or don't come. And but like, if you want to have a good time, come.
Yeah, like, okay, we're going to do like a race login by barbecue. How's the last thing?
So are you talking for like the running? Yeah. Okay, so it would be like personal logs. Don't be a douche about it. Don't lie. Take a log. You can run every day. You can run once a week. You could do 10 miles in one day and then not run for the next 3 days. The whole point would be that we're all pushing ourselves to win this competition. You start sending each other selfies in the morning. Oh, you were sleeping in, lazy fuck. Like, I'm running right now. Like, you know, like, oh, you're going to lose this competition. Wow, you suck. You really can't just get outside and jog a little bit.
Even you telling me that is like lighting a fire.
Like, oh, like,
and nobody else even knows
this group of friends particularly, it's not like my, you know, Mariano Scott missed, but we don't get like driven off of that competition thing. But like this group of friends does. So like we should play on that. Like we should all harp on it. Like Rayden's competitive. Chris is competitive. You know, I'll be competitive around you guys.
Because we can't really just say me, Dean, Chris, even Mike. Like we're not trying to lose weight. It's not like a weight loss challenge.
No, it's not a weight loss challenge by any means. It's a healthy physical challenge. You know, like we're trying to just trying to encourage each other and like have activities. Like the more activities we've been having and like builds bonding moments. Like, you know, we've been doing trivia, we've been doing D&D, we've been doing like, you know, all sorts of different activities, and it's good. We need to schedule these for ourselves as adults. So I think like doing a sober April challenge, like, because it's a nice month, so challenge each other to run.
What does the sobriety have to do with the challenge?
It's challenging yourself personally. Like just a straight up person. Like, it's good to cleanse, bro. Like, I'm a stoner. I've been a stoner for 12 years.
I just wanted to know the.
Can I chime in?
Yeah.
Sober April, like no smoking?
Like no smoking, no drinking.
See the day that you do that.
I find it's a competition with my friends. So like I want to make like so what I was saying is like we make a big trophy and you know we were playing to win the trophy, and once a year.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Well, because like I was saying on, you know, Joe Rogan, they do Sober October and they do something similar, and I'm like, you know, it's a camaraderie thing. Like it'll build an experience with your friends. It'll build like.
If all of you did it.
Yeah, see, like, and we just get we get the whole entire group of friends.
Together. Yeah, we'll all be annoyed together.
We'll be annoyed together.
We'll smoke weed every day, 10 times a day.
That's what I was saying. So
crazy.
Like, if we do a whole month of proving to ourselves, one, that like we can do it, two, that we're just having a good time with our friends, and I just think the memories are worth it. Send those bullshit like I don't know, like we don't Snapchat or like Instagram, none of the group of friends, but we could send pictures. Yeah, we can send like pictures like I'm running at 8 a.m. Like what the fuck are you doing? Like
I definitely would be all about the troll life.
Yeah, for sure. Like if Raiden responds to it, Chris responds to it, I respond to it. You like remember when we were at the
I'm gonna leave, but I did order a large pizza, so be here soon.
All right, love you, babe. God, you got me like 4 months ago at Rhett Reader's house in Milford. You were helping on the job, like, you know, learning when you were getting ready for sales. And you're like, I bet you can't go do 10 of those. And I was like, Justin, like, I could do 10 of those. You're like, nah, you couldn't. And I was like, Justin, like, I could like so easily do. And he, I know he was fucking with me, but the way he said it in front of the other guys, like, it really got to me on this like level of like, dude, I'm not like, I don't know, lack of better word, I'm not a pussy, bro. Like, I can fucking lift that 10 times. Like easy. And you knew I could do it. Like, but you were just fucking with me. But there's enough of that in that group of friends. Like, that's kind of fun, you know? And that was a fun way to do. You weren't encouraging me to like, Rich won't hit this heroin, bro.
It was also too, like, we were at somebody else's house, and for me, that was like the first time I was there.
Yeah.
And like, so you're just gonna go use that guy?
Yeah.
Like, that big dude that was just like throwing that around like nobody's business.
That's how I felt. I was like, wait, you don't like, come on, Korp. It was so funny.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think doing a sober month, you know, I think they use October because it rhymes. So I don't think it has any like.
Yeah, but it's just I mean, like,
we just don't want. Whatever the physical activity is, like it doesn't have to be running. It could easily be like, can you do 100 push-ups? Person to do the most push-ups. Log your push-ups. Take like a 3-minute video of you just smashing out 100 push-ups a day, and like.
Yeah, I mean, we could start with any of those, and then each year do a different one.
Yeah, it's just good habits with a physical activity
I think
that we can measure.
I think the running one is easy. I'm sure there's an app for it, so we could just have a group app. And so like every time someone's
you could probably log it on Google Maps. Yeah. I bet. Like you could just log your jogger out, save that, screenshot it, send it to the group every day.
If we needed a place to like actually like put the numbers down, we could just create
get a whiteboard or get a Excel,
Google Excel or whatever it is.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be the place to log it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like
we still would be having to put it in there. It wouldn't be like tracked automatically.
I just want to say one thing that sober April doesn't sound as fun as sober October.
Yeah, but it's cold here in October.
Oh, so we could do fun things outside.
There you go.
We gotta think of a better name for it though.
Okay.
There's other words for sober.
Yeah.
I'll start Googling.
Okay.
See, like,
Google.
It's already
like it's infectious, like the competition.
But it takes people to actually follow through, set the dates. Like for me, like with fantasy football, if I waited for 12 people to pick one date, we would never play.
Well, and that's why like the month sounds like such a good idea to me. Like it's April.
Well,
what day does it start?
And it's like COVID friendly in the sense that like it's not meant for us to get together and run together.
And then we have a big fucking barbecue at the end of it. Yeah. We invite all of our friends and like we have a good day of it and be like, look what the 6 of us derps did. And like we see the results. Like if we do something physical for 1 month straight and everybody actually sticks to it 20 of the 30 days in the month, like we're all going to have like legitimate changes in ourselves. And then it maybe it encourages you for the next couple months. Oh, I'm going to just keep working out. Like, dude, I really liked running every day.
Like starting to see how many miles I think I could run in a month.
Right. Like that's what I'm saying. Like how many could I run in a month? Like
3 miles a day.
Yeah. I mean, you would probably, I'd say to win in our group, it would probably be between you and Chris. Like, I don't even care if I win or lose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We could always make the loser do some annoying ass shit too.
No, in our group, that won't happen.
No, yeah.
Braden lost in my league and didn't. We
We
were all going to pay for him to dress up like Barney and come to a kid's birthday.
And he couldn't do it.
And he wouldn't do it.
I remember this. I remember this debacle.
I'm like, I mean,
whatever.
What it is.
It is what it is.
I don't have support from the 11 other guys. I'm not going to do anything.
Yeah,
I razz him as another owner in the league, but as a commissioner, I'm not going to force him to dress up as a student.
You got to think about it too. Like in a small, it's like the league. Like that, you know how it was like there was 12 guys in their league or whatever, but only like 6 of them were like mainly around each other, so they could enforce like those things on each other. It's a tight group of friends. We probably could, if it was like Josh, you and I, we could get right into where the party's at.
Yeah, because like Josh wasn't razzing him like I was. Nobody else in the league was making a stink of it. I'm gonna let it go.
Right, you have to, because then you're just the one guy picking on it for no reason.
Yeah,
but I think we do something cool like that. Like just activities, man, whatever it is. Like, you know, tonight's trivia, Thursday night's trivia. Like
I'm excited for trivia. I got
Justin won last week.
Yeah. So not that, you know, we were counting or anything. I didn't like go home and make a spreadsheet and start logging all the winners or anything.
Should we do that though?
I did though.
You do really? Oh my god, yeah, you're so fucking funny. I'm like, well, that's actually like a good idea, Korp. You're like, I started logging. So Scott and Miss, but we're the first week.
Yeah, that's why I asked you
who won last week. Oh yeah.
Last names.
Oh,
so Mr. and Mrs.
Gotcha. Oh, yeah, they're the Daryls. Bro, don't get me started.
Yeah.
I get too sappy about their relationship. I love
I was like, Daryl, Darrell.
Yeah, Daryl.
I need you to say it to me.
I love those two, man.
Yeah, so hopefully eventually some of these people will join the podcast and you'll see some faces. We'll have a little hangout with them.
Yeah, I think we had said interview so many times that even when we started talking to our friends, like interview is this way stronger word than hang out. And I think that's something like we had talked about like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, we didn't really think of it as that. We were just using common terms to describe, hanging out.
Yeah.
Just trying to spice it up a little bit. And it's like less spicy.
Yeah. Well, because we don't want to interview our friends. What are we going to interview? Like that sounds so formal and serious. Like we just want to hang out with our buds on podcasts and, you know, record our conversations. And
I think it's good for people to try it because like we said, we were super nervous episode 1 compared to episode
bad.
19.
We were like, we took 2 hours of prep before to even talk ourselves into turning the fucking thing on.
Yeah.
We took an hour and a half after to analyze what we were talking about. We were like shaky and nervous. And now when he comes over, and then for the subsequent weeks after that, we really tried to have like one subject every time. Yeah. This is what we talk about. Like, yeah, like that's cool. But like we knew we would evolve eventually. Like, that's a good idea. Maybe like in the future again, I guess, like if we really are like, dude, we got to talk about this week. Like, call me. Yeah, sure. I'm like, let's talk about that thing.
Well, at this point, we could just talk about it.
Right.
Like, we're just there where it's
that's
like,
what we had to realize, that there's no barrier. Like we put so many barriers, and like all this really, like what we had wanted was like when we hang out, we have good ass conversations. Let's record them.
Yeah.
And maybe other people will like them. And no time before we hung out. Hey, Justin, could you go like research this topic before you head over to my house in 15 minutes so we could actually talk about this? Like, that's not how conversation goes. Like,
I know you said you were gonna come over today, but but there's certain things that we know that we have in common. We're friends. And it's like easy topics for us to just like.
Yeah. I mean, we probably spent more time in a car together driving around than most people. We got to know each other really well there, and then years of restaurant. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, lots of. I don't know. This is why we're here.
Yeah, it is why we're here.
For sure.
Kind of lost in the thought.
Yeah, it's just fun times. Lots of memories.
Yeah, dude, it was cool catching up with Josh on Monday. I not that I forgot how many memories I had with Josh, but I have so many memories with Josh.
Right.
Like, it was just kind of awesome to be around him in his aura again. And because like I came home during COVID, I wasn't like super stoked to go see like, oh man, I don't want to say exterior friends. That sounds wrong. It doesn't, but I'm not going to sit here and joke or lie to anyone either. There's levels of friendship between all sorts of people. And, you have your really close friends. Like if you put them in A, B, T, C, D tier, nobody wants to hear what tier they're in because everybody wants to be in A tier. But the truth of that is that like you really only have friends that you stay in contact with in those certain tiers.
Yeah. And I think that a lot of it is a two-way thing, but it's really just a one-way thing. It goes back to making one person do it, make the phone call.
If you don't want to make the phone call, you're putting somebody in a bracket.
Yeah.
Flat out, both sides.
Yeah.
Like, it's just both sides because both people aren't making that phone call. So like if you valued somebody as an A tier friend and you didn't make the phone call, you valued them as a B tier friend. Anyways, I'm not trying to put friends in tier lists or any of that kind of shit. But when I came home from COVID, I think COVID has made people not talk to their B, C, and D tier list friends or try to hang out with them.
Well, they definitely aren't hanging out with them. They might talk to them.
And sometimes not even your A's. Like you're not even hanging out with your main homies, like the people who you would squat around with every day. I'm lucky I get to see you as much as I do. Yeah. We do the podcast once a week. I was seeing you a derpy amount for work. It's cool you live 10 minutes down the road because we can just, hey, do you want to have like a 3 o'clock smoke session and like dip out by 4? And then we just like, I got to see my buddy. Like, even if you were 7 minutes farther away, I think that's a pipe dream.
I'm a huge fan of the drop and go.
Yeah.
Like, I just stop by for a minute because a lot of times I'm just wasting time at my house, like looking at what could I watch on Netflix? Right. Nothing really because I have like
20 minutes.
Yeah.
And I just spent 10 looking.
Yeah.
And like all I had to do was put the first thing on I saw.
Yeah.
But having a friend that lives like 6-7 minutes away.
That definitely helps. I mean, Chris lives right down the road.
Yeah, Chris lives 2 minutes away.
Walking there before. So it's nice. I mean, I've had that my whole life. It's weird to not go to people's houses. When I was younger, I used to always be at like a friend's house. Oh, I'm staying the night, or I was always the one staying out constantly because I always had stuff to do, and like when I had time, it was weird. So I was like out at a buddy's house
on the weekends when my parents, because like my parents were strict like that, like no friend hangouts past 6 or 7 p.m. on weeknights, and then like weekends I could stay over on Friday night, but not on Saturday night, or like maybe Saturday night. I don't know what it was.
I got good enough grades. As long as I didn't get worse grades, like B's and A's, and I had scheduled activities throughout the week. So, like, what am I trying to really do between, out of school and practice and sleep?
Yeah, there's not a lot. You're already using so much of your day. You were busier as a kid than I've been in my whole adult life.
Like, I go to school, we'd have wrestling practice, then I go home and do my paper out on certain days, then I go to football practice.
Yeah, dude, that's like.
And now I just want to go to work and come home and do nothing. Like that's just weird to me.
Yeah,
I'm like, whether it's like let's play video games on Tuesdays. Like I needed something, especially with COVID. It was just like I went from working 2 jobs to not then finding a better job. But
one thing that I don't like from the mentality that was like bred for me that I'm realizing is the opposite of the mentality bred for you. So you have the feeling of like I gotta go be doing something. I get the inherent feeling of like I don't want to do anything, but I love it when I'm there. So I have
like doing nothing is like something for me at times, and it fills me with anxiety.
Like I only want to be doing what I want to do 100% of the time, and that's and most of the time that's the most selfish thing.
Yes,
always, right? So how it's like playing within those realms. Okay, 100% of the time is a little lavish. I can shoot for 45% to 55% is where I like to sit. So like I loved having a good time in Monday on D&D. I didn't want to go for some reason. I can't explain it. Like I knew it would be fun. I was like, dude, it was like Monday. I was like, as soon as someone was like D&D's tonight, I was like, fuck, I said I'd go to that. I don't know why I said it like that. And I like, when I got there, I was kicking myself in the ass a little bit. I'm like, you're such a brat, dude. Like calling my like 30-year-old self a brat for being like a kid about it. I was like, I don't want to go. And I was like sitting there like, what the fuck is wrong with me? I had so much fun. And I do that constantly. And that's so a lot of me, like I've realized is just battling that thing inside of me that says like, fuck off that activity.
Yeah.
I'd rather not do it, but it's no reason. But the second I get there, I have fun.
Yeah.
Every time. I
mean, I get what you're saying, because I'll have that same nervous. It's like I relate to like being nervous about something new or new people.
Yeah.
When it's like, but like that's like I guess the only way I can relate to it in that sense is like, because I'm constantly like, all right, what am I doing next? What's on my agenda?
Yeah.
And it's like especially when I have things to do, like
right.
things need to be done A, B, and C before I can do what I want, which is D.
Right.
That's when I'm like,
see, like I'm good at doing that for myself, but like not for other people. And I think that's the problem. Like I'm okay. Like, okay, if I know I have a ton of chores to do for the day, house maintenance and then like car stuff or like that kind of stuff, I'll put that over priority. But if I had to do it for somebody else, like, I mean, that could be you're a father now too. So you've learned a whole new path. Yeah. So like being a father, I'm sure helps. But like, man, there's just some moments where I'm like, I'm just such a brat. And the second I get there, like, it's fine. It's fucking fine. Like I have a blast. So I guess, working on that. I like Monday was a prime example of it. Like and I was really upset with myself. I'm like, why would my friends thing not be fun? Like with all of my friends.
Yeah.
Why would I not want to go do
successful?
That? Dude, it was fucking great. Justin's been running a D&D campaign for us, me, Michael Radin, Chris Hilton, and Josh and Mariano, which I'm sure are all people that'll come hang out eventually.
Yeah, they're all
on the podcast. It might hopefully our 20s, and by 20s I mean like our episodes in our 20s of podcasts.
Well, knowing us, it'll probably be our 30s.
Yeah, I know. We like to put stuff off in our 20s.
Yeah,
I realize. I always told myself by my 30s I'd take it seriously, and now I have. Like I'm actually a little proud of myself. I told myself when I turned 30, it's like if I couldn't get a restaurant open, and of course COVID now does not help with like the idea of opening a restaurant. Like they just don't want to survive in the margins of that. But like your 30s are when you get it together. I feel like, bro. At least in America, like there's so much lack of direction in your 20s because you don't want to listen to anybody who's older than you. You think you know everything, and you just like.
Well, especially when we were in the 20s. Not to like discount other generations without knowing it, but when we were in the 20s, things were changing dramatically through like our whole lifetime. Like every year, like new phones. Like this
that's crazy. It's kind of leveled out a little bit, right?
Yeah. Well, you reach a pinnacle with like, okay, this is just the maximum of this technology.
Yeah, we were definitely in a weird era.
I mean, like even cars now are like so much like you have Wi-Fi in your car. Like that's not like not a thing. Like
no, it's true, man. I mean, like the way, well, like think about the access of talking to people, talking to your friends. Why talk to my friends outside of my home? Like when AIM became a thing, you probably stopped going out on bike runs with your friends.
No, it made the amount of people I could touch expand.
That sounds gross.
Yes, it was very sticky.
Yeah, super sticky.
No, it was when I was liking girls. It just happened, and so like. I got to meet girls from other schools that I would have never been in physical contact with.
Yeah.
They had no way to get to know them.
See, yeah.
And so it gave me a door.
I guess I just wasn't social like that when I was a kid, or I wanted to be, and I didn't know how.
See, like I remember the successes, but like the failures. The failures is when. There you go. The failures are the ones you don't remember. It's like a gambler.
Yeah.
They win it big, but but you haven't heard from them the last month. You know, it's been
a bad month. Yeah, I get it.
It's just one of those mentalities. But that's like
it's just like such an interesting time. So like that happened.
Yeah.
And then it all transferred to cell phones. Text, SMS.
Well, there was a time in my life where like you could just bullshit. You could just lie.
Yeah.
And no one could call you out on it.
Right.
Like, I don't know if they won the Super Bowl in 2000.
No, they did.
And like,
they did.
Or like name drop people. Oh, he was in that movie.
Yeah. Like
he was with that one guy.
Yeah, it's like, oh, Kevin Costner was definitely in Braveheart. Like I just saw it with my dad. You can't watch Braveheart; it's rated R. Like my dad saw Braveheart.
Yeah,
and that was for sure Kevin Costner.
And now you do that. I'm like, pull out my phone as you're talking.
Yeah, there was Google destroyed the barroom debate.
Yeah,
like that was a big thing.
100%. Yeah.
There was this bar I went to in Vegas, and there's so many like bars, like like cocktail lounges, more really atmospheric, and like the drinks are $22 a drink, so it's fucking crazy. This bar, it was on a speakeasy during Prohibition in Las Vegas. And it's like an OG speakeasy. Like it looks like a big cooler door. Then you open it and it like goes down a hallway, and the hallway turned into a room. And it was called the laundry room. And I'm sorry, it wasn't a freezer. It was a fucking laundry door, like a washing machine.
Okay.
But anyway, so it only sits 9 people and 1 bartender and 1 dude on the piano, and like no phones. Like that's like a straight up rule. Like no phones. Like if you have to take an emergency call, take it outside. All your voices, everybody's like voice is low. And like that was a really cool bar experience because of like conversations couldn't be interrupted by, Google. And then we got hammered with the piano guy. Drove motorcycles drunk home that night. It was like not a fucking. It's crazy how one fun night can turn into a stupid fucking decision.
Yeah, I've been there too many times. I try not to let my emotions make any decisions for me.
Yeah, man. That was like I don't want to leave my motorcycles that we drove down here on, because we didn't plan on staying out till 4. Obviously, I don't think most people do. And we left our bikes down there.
It kind of made me think of something like how I have an issue with second guessing myself, and it's because my first guess has usually been wrong.
Isn't that true?
It's not. It's not that my first guess has been wrong. It's just the times that I failed hard. It feels like looking back now with what I'm going through. So it's like in that failing, it makes me like I probably could have been right a couple more times, but I like let me double triple check.
Yeah.
And you have that feeling of did I do it right?
Yeah.
Like after you send the text, like oh shit.
Yeah.
It's like that feeling.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
I know what you're saying.
But like with other little things.
Yeah, I get know what you're saying.
Oh, that feeling, I do not like that feeling of like I sent the text to the wrong person and it said the wrong thing in it, and you can't get it back. Like the loading bar is going like, oh.
I think I've said things to people like that in person, like in the heat of a moment. I've said really mean things.
Yeah,
I think in the even like a moment where I could have been a good friend, I chose to talk shit, or in a moment where I could have, that's
but the fact that like even you're talking about it now makes you think, makes that like the good person, you knowing it to try not to let it happen again because it's in your mind now.
Well, I think as you get older, you have to learn from that really hormonal stage of your life. Like, dude, I'm a big, like, those puberty years shape you so hard. Like 14 to fucking 22, I'll call it. Like, because like there's no way that at the back end, like the early end of your 20s, like you're not still going through a lot of those changes. Like as you becoming like a full grown adult, because it's like you're still dealing with the repercussions of your really bad hormonal years. You make decisions that you wouldn't normally make. You say things you wouldn't normally make.
I mean, my penis led my life.
That's what I'm saying.
For a long way.
Right. And then you're stuck dealing with the repercussions. You get not stuck dealing with the repercussions, but you are though. Like I had to deal with the repercussions of all of the shitty things I did when I was younger, like, failing a year of school to get back at my parents for moving me to Michigan. Like, what kind of logic is that? Like, but that logic was like the truth at the time for me. Like, I thought of it as
going back and talking to yourself. If you could have like a minute or two, is there anything that you think you could say to yourself that would even get through?
No. Nope.
You'd have to go back like further.
I would have had to talk to me
like
somewhere in middle school,
like an inception, like way sooner than just when you were already in the moment to get out of it.
Yeah, somewhere in middle school. The biggest thing I would ever tell myself would probably be that, like, don't let them get to you. I don't know, something there's nothing I could have said to him, because little me still had to go through it. I still had to go through, like, we had talked about it like a podcast or two ago, and maybe we're talking about I talk about my childhood too much, but fucking like Just the bullying, bro. Like I had to go put up with it day in, day out. The place that you're not at home, the only other place that you're not. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're either at home or you're at school. Yeah. When you're a kid, like home or school related functions or something with school. Maybe I'm not with my friends, but like, dude, like I just every day put up with it, and like just people fucking like there was something about my face that people just wanted to fuck with me straight up. I always felt like that as a kid.
That's
oh, thanks, babe.
That's an intense feeling to like, go through every day, wake up like feeling, because I mean I was bullied for a window of my life, and in those moments it was terrifying.
Yeah.
You know, as a kid you're just not equipped to deal with it.
Yeah. So like that kid, you know, like I'm like, I wish I would have probably tried to tell myself in some way to take your route and just keep on punching back. Like try something. Doing nothing is the worst thing. It is worse than not doing anything. Like I should have thrown punches. I should have just been known as like the fat kid you don't fuck with, because he'll just fucking punch you. Yeah. Even he might not knock you out. You might not, like it might whatever, but like what difference would it have done for me? You know, like I don't know. Maybe stand up for yourself a little bit, dude. Like because I just took it, and it took me years to stand up for myself.
And the other thing too,
you're
not paying attention to all the other people watching. When you stand up to yourself, that like it's a ripple effect in a lot of different ways. But like it could build loyalty and friendship with other people. Like, hey, he stood up to him. Maybe if we group together, that's two. You know, and
then you find your buddies to stand up with. You know, like that's how you find friends, right? Like and stuff. But I never stood up. You know, like that was like
sometimes you got to raise your hand.
Yeah, man, for sure. You got to ask the question. You know, like don't be afraid, and don't be afraid to say anything that you feel like you should say. Like your brain thought of it, that's you. Don't like deny yourself. That's something that I probably like. Those are the things I try to tell myself.
There is phrasing and there is timing. There's such things of like, you know, biting your tongue. Don't just say whatever in the improper moment. Yeah, but like ask that question later.
But if you have a hardcore feeling about something, you don't feel comfortable with it, and someone's making a decision that you don't like, you gotta just say
speak up. Yeah.
Speak up. You know, like worst thing that's gonna happen is you're gonna get told no. That's life right there. The worst thing people can say is no.
No, that just means usually no meant, what is it? What was the old saying? Means like when a girl's like tells you not right now, and then it's like come back in like 5 minutes, try again or something. It was like I can't remember it.
Oh man, see the terrible one that like I remember from like my early 20s is yes means no, no means anal, and then they like canceled the fuck out of all those people. Like can't say any of that funny shit anymore. And I know it's not good. That's not good. But like, it encourages rape culture, but it's a funny joke. It sounds funny. Like it just sounds funny. How can you not laugh at that?
I think at some level, like I've sheltered myself because I'm not supposed to be a certain way, but really I should be able to talk however I want, but I don't want to offend people. And I like having friends more than I like telling jokes.
Yeah.
So that's, you know, that's what it comes down to.
I think that's where my line gets drawn. I like telling jokes because that's just who I like. If you don't, if it offends you and you're my friend, maybe we weren't cut out. Like that's really how.
Yeah.
Then what are we doing? Like, you know that I'm not out here encouraging rape. I don't want anybody raping anybody. Like, yes, me. No, it's rape. Am I saying it because I'm promoting rape? No, I'm saying it because it sounds funny. There's a huge difference.
Yeah,
like,
it's a play on words.
Yeah, it's a stupid thing. So, but that's where that's the bummer right now. This is the thing I talked about maybe like 4 podcasts ago, how like we're getting so progressive. We did a good job. Everybody's got a lot of rights now, and we're doing really good at social progression, but we pushed so far past it that now people can't say funny things because it hurts people's feelings.
Well, they talk about that all the time on different podcasts about comedy. Like comedy's like dying because you can only make fun of yourself.
Yeah. People get their buttholes hurt about everything now. Like, and how do you tell that to somebody who got raped? How do you tell yes means no, no means, anal?
I can never answer that question.
No.
To not be able
and I don't want to be able to. So I'm not saying here that I'm not going to sit here and say I don't feel empathetic.
Funny's funny. And sometimes we just need to laugh a little more. Life would be better.
God, just stop taking everything.
Everyone's trying to get out alive.
I just don't like that I can't make funny jokes anymore. It's like hurting. It's like it's soul sucking because I've had good friends look at me too after making a joke that I thought was like, I'm like, this is kind of funny. It fucking landed. Like, it landed. Like, oh, you can't say that anymore. Like, who are you? Like, what? Like, why are you not going to let yourself have a good time?
Yeah.
At like the expense of something that's like, yeah, I get it. Like, it's not it's not funny if we're standing right there at that moment. Like, you don't laugh. Like, if your friend falls off a ladder, you don't fucking laugh right away. Yeah. How okay are they? Yeah. Are they maimed? Did they get paralyzed? No, okay, it's not funny anymore. If he fell and he's like, oh dude, like I crushed my big toe, everything about him's totally fine. He didn't hit his head, he just landed on his big toe really weird. You just start busting up at your buddy. Like, he's in pain. I get it. But he's gonna survive. He's gonna survive. Like, that's all it is, dude. I don't know. Maybe that's not the best metaphor for it, but like there's context behind humor. Yeah. You know, like people are just fucking pussies.
Yeah, no. Brianna says that all the time. She's like, "Why are we so censored? I just want to laugh."
Yeah, it shouldn't have to be. It shouldn't have to be. Like, it shouldn't have to be like that. That's where the freedom of speech stuff gets weird.
That's like the good and the bad of the internet. Yeah, you know, this is where we're at because everybody
has a fucking opinion.
Yeah, and everybody can, and that's like.
And look at us, we get ours. Yeah, fucking internet.
Yeah, give us a soapbox.
Yeah, and that's all it is, right? Yeah, I'm totally on a soapbox right now, just like mad about
a little bit taller than people.
Yeah, just like fucking mad at I can't make shitty jokes. I like really fucked up jokes. I like jokes at the expense of people's race and at the expense of people's ethnicities and the expense of people's genders. I think they're funny. I don't think that they're okay in the sense like I'm not trying. You got to be able to see that you can make a joke about something but not promote it. And I think that's like where people just got to go like, oh yeah, he's a comedian. Oh yeah, that's my funny friend. Oh yeah, people just say like, you know, my buddy just says stuff like that. Like, it'd be one thing if I walked up to you one day and I'm like, Justin, I don't know how you feel about this, but like, if bitches keep telling me no, I'm gonna just fuck them in the ass. Because yes means no and no means anal, and I'm fucking tired of this shit, dude. Like, I'm fucking tired of these women telling me I can't have sex with them, so I'm just gonna fuck them in their ass. I'm gonna tie them up and fuck them in their ass. That's so different. That is so different than yes means no and no means anal. Like, it's two different lines.
Well, it's like, it goes back to like context and then like headline news, because that's how everything's spoon fed to everybody. So it's like our political and our media system is out of control.
Absolutely. It's insane. The way we get our news. The fact that I have to listen to like Joe Rogan, who's a schmuck, and I don't even listen to him. I believe in the people that he brings on his podcast. And he's not a schmuck. He's a fucking smart guy. He knows how to have a good interview. Like, he's well spoken.
He does his thing real good.
Yeah. But like, I have to go to something like that, which is just a free thing on the internet. And some guy who used to host Fear Factor, like, that's where I have to get my news from.
You trust him over the news sources, same as I do.
Yeah, before Fox News, before fucking CSNBC, before MSNBC, before any of that. Like, every time I go on to try to get my news from those places, all I hear is hate speech. All I hear is warmongering. All I hear is finger pointing, like, this side did this and this side did that. Like, this side wants people to do this thing and this side wants that people to do thing, and fuck them and fuck this. And it's like, that's division. Like, what are we dividing ourselves for? Like, over things that don't even affect each other. Like, you know, we're fighting over politics we don't have control over. We're fighting over money that we can't distribute. And like, what? Just to divide regular people?
Yeah. And I'm not sure that like this would solve it, but it's like the same people that have been arguing over the same stuff for our entire life, that are in these positions in Congress and the Senate, where they are still there. It's like, how are you in touch with anything from here?
You've been a senator for 45 years. Yeah. What the fuck do you know about how regular people live? What do you know about how like anybody blue collar lives? Like, they're all out there like trying to get the blue collar vote. Like, our whole country needs to get it right that if you're not in politics or the CEO of a country, they view you as blue collar. Like, you're just a number and a vote to them, and they're trying to win the vote of the working people. Like, you got to own a Fortune 500 company and be one of the guys who is a multi-billionaire, like fucking like, like, you know, they're those are the only people that get to make the decisions. So, and then they're so good at it that they're just like, well, if we divide the people and make them think it's this liberal versus conservative thing, then we can distract them with that while we pass any law and legislation for each other that we want. And we'll just put it under the guise of, you know, like, they're all on the same side. Republicans and Democrats are working together. We sit here and act like they're not when they're getting paid by like all of the same dudes to pass legislation. Like, anytime a vote is like for anything corporate related and it's like 80 to 100 votes, Like there's your 40 dudes, like there they are. They're bought by somebody or got lobbied by somebody, or there's some sort of personal self-interest that got them to pass that thing. You know, like
that system needs to be altered in a way
it's fundamentally flawed.
Yeah, it's just like
let us vote on everything. We have the technology to do it now.
Yeah.
We have the absolute technology to do it. Everybody has a social security number. For the most part, I'd say like 75 to maybe 70% of Americans probably have some sort of smartphone device or device that will allow them to vote on. You go into a government regulated app that's like our government is unhackable, right? Like, but then we're going to sit here. I'm like pretty sure.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure like that they have servers
that I would think that these should
I would
be
hope
there
so.
now,
What's my taxpayer money doing?
Yeah.
How do we not have the most secure internet in the world? How do we not have the most, like you want to talk about like building like border security, like the border of American internet, like that should be this free land is just as free as America. That's where this weird thing starts coming in lately of like, what can you say on the internet? And what can you say in real life? You know, like on the internet, you can say anything. In real life, you can't, right? Like, or I don't know what point I'm trying to make, but anyways, we need better cybersecurity. There should be cybersecurity measures in place that could give everybody the access to have one app on their phone that they vote through. And when legislation wants to go through, literally, not figuratively, the American people can make their fucking own minds up. They can look actively, read it, and go, "Oh no, I don't support this thing."
Yeah, but
or yes, I do support this thing.
You're going to get enough people to do that regularly to vote on everything.
Dude, it just comes up on your phone.
Yeah, but then you're just going to vote one way or the other. Like just like
I guess they just start running ads like crazy and getting people to no, it's all the same problem. I don't know. I don't really know how to fix democracy. I guess that was just
I think it's more people, less money.
Yeah, more people, less money. Sounds good to me.
So
more representatives.
Not that you have to. So like your term limits. So let's say it's 5 years.
Yeah.
So every 5 years you have different chairs that rotate. So maybe you rotate if there's like 200 chairs.
Yeah.
Or whatever, however it works. Each one, you have like. This year, these change. This year, these change. This year, these change. So there's like mix of everybody, from different groups. And then every 5 years, it rotates. And so that way you have new faces in there making decisions and voting. And those people get more and more opportunities. And we have more smart people making decisions because then we have to find more people to do this.
Yeah. Oh, so like jury duty.
Yeah.
Like supreme jury duty.
Yeah.
That's what it should be.
Yeah.
It should be some crazy level of jury duty.
Them in, but eventually it's going to be like, all right, we need the next.
And you can never serve again. You can never serve more than once.
How many people do we have?
And
in this world?
It's 3-year jury duty.
Yeah.
You're stuck in it for 3 to 4 or 5 years, and we're going to call 1,000 people with these qualifications every 5 years. We're only going to take scientists, innovators, CEOs.
No, I think
not even that.
I think you just make a mix.
Just random humans.
No, I think you could either do the voting thing, so you still get voted in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, so eventually though, there's gonna be that top tier of people that have come and gone.
I think you got to make them at least smart people. I don't think you can just too many randoms.
I think having qualifications is good in some sense, but I think there are smart people that would be good in office that don't have any necessary qualifications. They just are wise and intelligent that maybe learn from the internet.
So it would have to be like 35 and older, no older than 55 or 65, right? You would want ideally that. I would say 55 or 65. Let's just.
I mean, we're talking 200 out of how many million?
Yeah, I just like. How do we do? Yeah, I guess we just vote. And do we vote or I think they have to be.
Well, how are they already voted right now? Just keep the exact same voting process. I
feel like we could brush up the voting process too while we're at it.
Well, we probably can, but that's the thing.
Everybody should have voter rights. You should just be born the second you turn 18. You just get a card in the mail that says, "Here you go. You can vote now." Like no jurisdictional lines. Like
just like when you log into the app to vote, like you can vote because you have your social.
It just doesn't make any sense. Like it's 2020, man. We were supposed to have flying cars. We can't even get this voting thing down. Come on.
Because if it's not broke, don't fix it mentality of our parents.
Yeah, it's Flint, Michigan. How that went.
Yeah, that's
like you know what I mean.
We're a reactive society.
Yeah, it's
when you're reacting to everything, then you're
never on the ball.
Yeah, you're never going. You're not choosing which direction you're going in. Oh, we're taking care of this. Some things you can't avoid, like a hurricane or natural disasters. Like
I get that.
There's certain things that we need to come together. COVID. Like we did. None of us here really did it. Anything about it wasn't our fault.
No, but nobody came together.
Go fuck a monkey, and then now there's COVID or anything like that. Right. Like it, not saying that's what happened or what but I'm just saying we have to deal with it. It's just what it is right now.
That's something you be reactive to. You can be progressive on things like technology and
voting in your voting system. Like when it's like clearly like
it's a clearly flawed system.
First off, the fact that we had Hillary versus Trump, and then followed by Trump versus Biden, where a majority of voters didn't want to vote for either one.
Yeah. Well, how did we get stuck in that situation?
How does that happen?
That situation should never even occur.
And the people that get those people on those podiums, they need to be fired.
A lot of people I met on both sides just didn't want it.
Like the front office of the Republicans and Democrats, if you will, like relating it to like a sports team. Yeah. Like those are the people that get fired for hiring the bad players.
Yeah. The leaders of the party. Yeah. Like the coaches. Yeah. Their whole staff.
The coaches, the people, the assistants,
owner, operator.
Yeah, you guys like.
But the best part for their position, Justin, is how often do you hear people talk about those people? They just assume that those people don't really exist. Yeah. There's a general assumption that there's not people who are like genuinely controlling who the leaders of their political party are. Like there is a council of them. Like there is buddies who all hang out and go like, oh yeah, we want this guy to lead our party. Like we're the richest guys in our group, or we have the most influence. Yeah. You know, the most companies like us, or the most lobbyists like us, or we have a lot of money and power and influence. So like, okay, yeah, we can put Trump in power.
Like you've already done your favors to the things. Mm-hmm. You've made those.
You run the Republican Party. Yeah. Like those are the people who are scheming all day. You know, they're putting these people out there as actors. Like there's nothing about the presidential.
Well, think about this. I run tobacco.
Right.
My son has just graduated from college.
Yeah.
I talked to one of my buddies in the political world, and now he's, a lobbyist, and then he's working his way up because I keep making my phone calls. Mm-hmm. And then we have that person, which wasn't elected, right? Which just kind of got nepotized into place. And that's the person making decisions about who's the president going to be.
Yeah, and that's the guy.
That's where we're at now with people. That's how old things have gotten. Yeah. And like now we can see it because of technology. It's like there to research.
Yeah, we're dealing with dynasties again. Like we're legitimate. Like the Obamas, like their kids will be powerful. Hillary's kids will be powerful. Yeah. Like the Clintons will have a name. The Kennedys still do have a name. Like political families are being born. Like the Trump family, they're becoming they're a political family now, full on. Like they have power. Like they like this is not a joke. The Bidens
let's see what happens with the Biden family. As we're going forward with that. And it's just like, but I mean that's Americans. We want to focus in on right and wrong and one thing instead of look at the big picture. This is a long-term progress. This is like
it feels gloom and doom, but like it's really easily fixed if our leaders want to come together and actually fix the problem instead of constantly patching the dam. Because there's clear problems here that could be restructured. But like restructuring costs too much money. It's too hard. We have to think about too many things. Well, I got to get elected in 3 years. What's going on with this?
The whole trying to get reelected thing while you're already in office. Like even if you said, okay, every 5 years you're off and then after 5 years you can get reelected. I would feel way better about that, reelecting that one person.
5 years later, 5 years after.
If they got reelected, I'd feel better.
So you can't do back-to-back terms, but you can do 2 terms.
Because you are not allowed to run for office while you are in office.
Yeah, but they would still just be like, reelect me in 6 years. I'll be back. That's Trump's thing right now. He's like, he's going to try to come back.
Yeah, but like, hopefully, I mean, that's what all people say when they lose something.
Yeah, well,
not a lot of people want to lose. Like, look at how many times.
I think he actually can run again, though.
No, I'm not saying that he can't, but like professional athletes, when they're like trying to catch that one last spark of glory before they retire, and they keep coming back, and they just keep coming back. Yeah,
I mean, how's Tampa doing? I have no idea about sports. I don't even know what question I just asked. Really, I just know he went to Tampa.
I know they're doing decent. I'm not sure their record. They expanded the playoff bracket this year, so. There's an extra team from each conference. Apparently, it's COVID related.
Neat.
Just in case, like a good team doesn't get a chance.
You'll find that abuse of power anywhere, man.
Yeah.
The
COVID as an excuse to get away with stuff is just.
It's beautiful, dude. There was I was just watching. So there's these 2 news anchors. Speaking of news, that's hard to trust. I actually found a news site. I'll send them to you.
Okay.
It's on the Hill. I can't remember the chick's name, but it's something in Sauger. They were actually on. Joe Rogan.
Okay.
And she's on the left, he's on the right. Like they both worked at big news media sources before. Fucking hated the structure, saw how corrupt it was, saw how bought out everybody was. The games that everybody's playing in Washington, got sick of it, and started a moderate news station, like news segment.
Okay.
And it's just, and you get both sides. Like she says stuff sometimes I'm like, I don't completely agree with you. That sounds like a little hardcore left for me. But like he says stuff that's like super conservative sometimes. I'm like, I don't know, bro. Like, but then a lot of the times they talk to each other and they really meet in the middle on a lot of these subjects. Like they're no shit on like Biden. Like they're no. And they're also no shit on Trump. They think they're both terrible presidents. They report on how terrible both of them are at what they do all the time. They're not like trying to bolster one side over the other, which I really enjoy. They talk about the Epstein stuff pretty purely. They talk about a lot of the like not conspiracy, but like scandal stuff in a sense. And like from a good point where it's not just like one side saying like, you know, oh, the liberals are doing this. Oh,
Right.
the Republicans are doing
Right. Okay.
And
what are
it's
your
the
thoughts
news.
on what is that? Last Week Tonight.
I like John Oliver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he kind of just on HBO. He's able to say some things.
Yeah.
That, like,
he hits the nail on the head with a lot of stuff, man.
Just like even like.
But he's pretty fucking left in a lot
But
of
when
ways.
he does his reporting and his investigation skills, and he lets that lead the show, I think it's really well done. Like
I like the stories he covers.
Yeah, like he like the crew and the team there, they do a lot of good stuff in shining light on dark areas.
Yep, I agree. Oh, well, we're almost at an hour, brother.
Yeah, we did it again. We made it to episode 19.
19.
Feels good.
Yeah, dude.
19 never felt so good before.
I know, man. Oh, next week's the big 2-0.
Ooh.
Maybe we'll do something. Maybe we won't.
Maybe we'll talk on D&D voices.
I don't know if the world's ready for that yet. I don't think I can do that right now.
If we get 5 likes,
we'll do a whole podcast.
A whole podcast in the thing. If we get 5 likes,
I'm down. Yeah, like anything, just like something. Call us. Tell us you liked our podcast. You're probably our friend if you're watching right now.
No, we need 5 likes on YouTube.
Yeah, 5 likes on YouTube, and we'll talk.
Or 5 combined with like what is it? Reviews.
But if we talk in our D&D voices, does that become continuity in our D&D campaign? I don't think we're allowed to do it, bro. I'm just kidding. I'm just seeing like I'm being negative about something. I know that would be fun.
It would be derpy. We could be in the D&D setting the whole time and just talking about our derpy life as a gnome and a cat.
Yeah.
Sounds weird.
All right.
Thanks for listening.
Peace out. YouTube. Goodbye.